Have you ever had the feeling that someone might like you, but you couldn't quite prove it? Maybe they never flirted, they never confessed, they never made the first move, yet something about the way they acted felt different. The truth is, attraction is rarely as obvious as movies make it seem. Psychology suggests that when people genuinely like someone, they often become more self-conscious, more aware of their own behavior, and sometimes even try to hide their feelings altogether. Ironically, the harder someone tries to conceal attraction, the more their subconscious begins revealing it. Today, we'll explore 5 subtle psychological signs that someone may secretly like you, even if they never say a word. And make sure you stay until the end, because the 5th sign happens almost completely unconsciously. It's one of the strongest indicators psychologists have observed, yet most people never notice it. Let's begin. 1. They remember the smallest things about you. Have you ever mentioned something once? Just once? Your favorite snack, a movie you watched years ago, a childhood story, or maybe an offhand comment about something you wanted to try someday. You forgot you even said it. But weeks later, they bring it up. Didn't you say your favorite coffee was vanilla? I remember you wanted to visit that place. I bought this because I remembered you liked it. Most people don't remember details like that. Not because they don't care, but because our brains naturally filter out information that feels unimportant. Psychologists have long understood that attention follows emotional significance. The more emotionally important someone becomes, the more carefully our brain stores information connected to them. It's called selective attention. We notice what matters. Think about your own life. You probably couldn't tell me what every coworker ordered for lunch yesterday. But if someone you really cared about mentioned they were nervous about an interview, you'd probably remember. Not because you forced yourself to, because your brain decided that information mattered. People often think attraction is revealed through grand romantic gestures. But in reality, it's usually revealed through tiny memories, the little things, the details nobody else notices. Because when someone occupies your thoughts, their words quietly stay there too. 2. They behave differently around you. Here's something interesting. Don't just watch how they behave with you, watch how they behave with everyone else. Then compare the difference. Maybe they're naturally loud until you're around. Suddenly they're quieter. Maybe they're usually reserved, but somehow become playful whenever you enter the room. Some people become more confident. Others become more awkward. Some laugh more than usual. Others seem to lose the ability to finish a sentence. Because attraction changes behavior. Psychologists call this behavioral self-monitoring. When we care about someone's opinion, we become unusually aware of ourselves. Our brain starts monitoring everything: our posture, our words, our facial expressions, even our breathing. That's why attraction often creates nervousness. Not because something is wrong, but because the stakes suddenly feel higher. This is why someone who speaks effortlessly to everyone else may stumble over simple words when talking to one specific person. Their emotions are interfering with their normal behavior. Ironically, trying to appear natural often makes people seem even less natural. And that's exactly what makes this sign so reliable. 3. They always find one more thing to say. Have you ever noticed a conversation that should have ended, but somehow didn't? You both said goodbye, then another question appears, then another story, then another message, then another excuse to continue talking. Psychologists have found that people naturally seek longer interactions with those they enjoy being around. Time feels different when we're emotionally invested. We subconsciously look for reasons to extend the experience. Think about texting. The practical conversation is already finished. Instead of ending it, they send another meme, ask another random question, mention something completely unrelated, or simply reply with something that doesn't actually need a response. They're creating opportunities, not because the conversation itself is important, but because being connected to you is. Sometimes attraction isn't about what someone says, it's about how reluctant they seem to leave. Because when someone genuinely enjoys your presence, the end of the conversation never feels like the right time to stop. 4. They notice things nobody else does. You get a haircut. Most people don't notice. You change your watch, wear different colors, seem slightly quieter than usual. Maybe you're smiling less. Everyone else carries on normally, but one person asks, "Everything okay?" Or, "Did you change something?" How did they notice? Psychologists explain this through something called attentional bias. Our minds naturally monitor people who carry emotional importance. We observe them more carefully, without even realizing it. It's why parents often notice tiny changes in their children immediately, It's why close friends can tell something feels different before you say anything. And it's why someone who's attracted to you may recognize subtle changes long before everyone else. Not because they're trying to investigate you, but because their attention naturally returns to you more often. Your expressions, your mood, your habits, your energy. Their brain quietly keeps checking for updates. When someone consistently notices the little changes others completely miss, it often says far more than compliments ever could. 5. They unconsciously mirror your behavior. This may be the strongest sign of all, because it usually happens without conscious awareness. You're sitting together. You lean forward. A few moments later, they lean forward too. You cross your arms. Soon they do the same. You slow down your speech. They gradually match your pace. You smile. Seconds later, they're smiling too. This phenomenon is known in psychology as mirroring, and it's one of the most fascinating forms of nonverbal communication. Humans naturally imitate the people they feel connected to. The behavior isn't planned. Researchers believe mirroring helps create social bonding by increasing feelings of similarity and understanding. It's one reason close friends often develop similar gestures. Long-term couples begin speaking alike, and family members sometimes adopt the same expressions without realizing it. During attraction, this synchronization often happens even faster. The body begins building connection before words ever do. That's why body language can sometimes reveal feelings the person themselves hasn't fully admitted. Their conscious mind may still be trying to hide attraction, but their subconscious has already started speaking, without saying a single word. Conclusion: psychology reminds us that attraction is rarely loud. It doesn't always arrive through dramatic confessions or obvious flirting or grand romantic gestures. More often, it hides inside ordinary moments. Someone remembers a tiny detail you forgot mentioning. They behave differently whenever you're around. They keep finding reasons to continue talking. They notice changes nobody else sees. And without realizing it, their body begins quietly matching yours. Of course, none of these signs guarantee that someone is romantically interested. People are complex. Context always matters. But when several of these behaviors consistently appear together, they may be revealing feelings that words haven't caught up with yet. Because sometimes the strongest emotions are the hardest to say out loud. And long before people confess what's in their hearts, their behavior has already told the story. If you enjoyed this video, let us know in the comments. Have you ever realized someone liked you only after looking back at their behavior? If you found this fascinating, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more psychology content every week, and we'll see you in the next one.